I love how we always start out with like 5 seconds of silence before we're like, oh,
Because
hey,
I don't want to start off with yelling, but I like
the option is there. No one
I
is stopping
just,
you.
how do I say this?
Positive yelling or bad yelling?
Bad yelling.
Okay. I still support it.
AJ Greer. What's going on with Luke and the
Is
Devils?
Palladium retiring
What
soon?
book is that?
Did you see the new Kraken jersey?
Three-peat?
Was that the goal of the year?
16 million?
Who's gonna win the Norris
The Isles are
Trophy?
having fun again?
Did you read the new Elsie Silver
Will
novel?
the Sabres ever make the
Can anyone
playoffs?
beat Ovi's
Give me
record?
a new book rec.
Who got traded?
Will Matthews bounce
Can
back?
Tampa get back on top?
This is Read Between the Blue Lines,
A hockey podcast.
where our brains are filled with endless stat lines
Rosters.
and a list of books to read,
Tune in every Monday for a deep dive in the game you love.
and the books we can't shut up about.
Notably, first off, if you aren't familiar with who it is, notably a Florida Panther. Important information.
I saw a tweet the other day that says, so upon further review of this video, even though when you look at it, it's obviously intentional and with intent to injure,
Yeah.
um, upon slowing the video down and rewatching it, you can clearly see that he's in a Florida Panthers jersey, and so therefore any accusations against him are null and void.
Yeah.
If you don't know what we're talking about or what I'm talking about, AJ Greer laid a nasty hit the other day. Um, how do you pronounce his name?
Who was it? Why am I blanking who it was? Hold on, I'm just gonna literally Google it. I like remember he did it, and then I was like, who did he? Oh, Connor Zary?
Connor Zary. Okay.
Yeah, Flames.
On the
I,
Flames.
I was thinking another Flames player. It was not him, but yes,
And
Connor Zary.
Zary was like in a weird position as it was. Like he lost his balance a little
He was
bit.
already like going down, like falling onto the ice, and then
Yeah.
like Greer came in and hit him, and so like his head like
Crunched into the boards.
directly into the boards. Yeah. So like
I am
unnecessarily, that was not needed to happen at all.
I am shocked. So fortunate, so glad, so happy, but shocked
He
that
was
Zary
okay.
is not paralyzed
Yes. It
because
was
that was a
terrifying.
scary fucking hit and
Hmm.
it was intentional. When you watch the video, you can see Greer literally slow down and process. It's like that hit that happened last year. I want to say it was maybe Kachuk, that Matthew Kachuk, where he like
Oh, I feel like I know
elbowed
what you're
someone in
talking
the
about.
head, and like it was
Yeah, but
so like he went back and
you
yeah,
saw him wait, like set it up instead of just like doing it. I do remember
yeah.
that, but I don't remember who it was, but
I don't remember, but I remember being like pissed
yes.
about it.
Yeah.
And again, it's a Florida Panther, and so if you don't know, what is the relation? One of
Oh my God.
the Department of Player Safety, is it the vice president?
I'm looking it up.
Someone in DPS is related to
The team.
the team.
Like somebody in the team.
Yeah.
Why?
And so it's like a running joke, but also not a joke that the Panthers get away with like
Everything.
everything.
Because last season we had the issue with Bennett and on the goalies, they were like, this is Google is not bringing it up to me.
Not Peter Sweet. That's not what I'm trying to look up. Player safety, not Peter Sweet. What the fuck?
Oh my God, he's been in player safety since 2017, per this NHL article.
I don't want more about the AJ Greer situation.
Oh my God, that's terrible. He's from New Jersey. Why?
Um,
We're giving all of us the bad. Anyway, yeah,
so
he's somehow, I forget the actual connection, but he is somehow connected to
oh,
the
got it, got it.
Panthers.
Hold on. Gregory Campbell, the Florida assistant GM, is Colin Campbell's son. Colin is an NHL executive that was the head of player safety, and George Peros
Yes,
is also a former Panther.
he was when I was looking up. Yeah.
Um, so
But basically, every other team, they're like, okay, you did this. Here's your thing. If you're a Panther, you'll maybe get like a slap on the wrist, and then like you can go out and keep injuring people all the time because we're not actually going to punish you for it.
but we talked about this of
But
like the phone hearing stuff, and so when it comes down from player safety that it's going to be a phone hearing, you know it's going to be capped at 5.
Yeah, the
And so
max you can get is 5.
the push went out, the tweet, the email, whatever went out that it was going to be a 5 game max because it was a phone call. And the call 2 weeks ago from a lot of NHL media was like, this system needs to get fixed.
Hmm.
That like you can't do a phone call and have more than 5 games. And then especially now with this hit, it's like so one, this is like it feels like such obvious bias that it's because it's a Panther, you're only giving him 5.
Yeah.
But also, can we just fix the fucking system already?
I was
Because you need to
so
like this is ridiculous.
this is like not in good light of the NHL, but honestly what does make the NHL look good anymore? The GM meetings happened over the last week. Um and this is like we're talking about this as like fans and media members and like we're watching things like this happen and it's insanely unfortunate that these players are getting hit like this and suffering injuries of that nature. Um but it's bad when the GMs who run your teams are extremely angry that their players are being injured that way and the players doing the injuring are not getting punished enough and or there's not a rule set in stone that is not banning, I guess it's like the right word, but like allowing it to happen is making the sport worse. But the GMs
There
are feeling that. So,
there was allegedly a
yes,
GM who got
into it,
into it
into
with
it
Gary Bettman. And I will
about this very
say,
topic. Like this is
yeah, like specifically about hits to the head.
yeah.
And so when you look at teams who have had season-ending injuries because of hits to the head, there are very few. Um, but out of that list, I have suspicions of who I think it might be. I would not going to say them publicly because I don't
Yeah.
think it's been confirmed or anything. But there are rumors, and you can go look up who
I
it is
also
or whatever.
like
But
don't think I don't this is gonna sound so silly. Like I don't think a head injury has to be season ending for them to like take it seriously. Like
no,
it should be a head injury that's serious in itself. We need to like fix whatever's causing it and whatever's going on because again, we've talked about like one head injury leads if you get another one and another like it's not
you would
just
know.
because it's season ending. Yeah, guys, fun fact if you're new here, I've had like 3 official concussions. I hit my head all the time, so it's fine. I'm okay. One of them was self-inflicted, 2 other ones were not. They were sport related. But yeah. But yeah, so I think it's telling though that like we aren't just making like a mountain out of a molehill with this issue. It's literally
Yeah.
something that people running the teams in the league are also noticing. And I feel like that's when you should be like, oh, maybe something should be done about
Yeah.
literally all of this. But yeah, a
Speaking of
time.
the GM meetings, on a much lighter note, but still a very frustrating note for much of media and fans,
Hmm.
I want to say Bar Down posted a graphic the other day talking about how 10 teams in the East would be leading the Pacific
Oh
Division.
yeah.
Because the Ducks have like 79 points out of as of that posting. That's what it was.
Yeah, they're at 80 now. So like minus the Central, top 3 in the Central because they're crazy.
Yes.
If you Pacific and everybody in the wild card race, the team with the most points, it's not in the top 3 of the Central are the Ducks with 80, and they lead the Pacific. And then if you go in the
Meanwhile,
East,
the
the
East is
the
like
East,
you lose one game and they're gonna shoot you in
yeah,
the
the
head.
East has your top 2 wild card spots are 86 and 84 points, and then it's 83, 81, 80 are your first 3 teams out of the wild card.
Like the Flyers would be in the playoffs.
So yeah.
No.
Also, like if all of those teams were in the East, they'd be like they're like almost all worse than like the Caps,
But
who are
also,
6th in the wild card in the East. Like
but you have to
that's
also
crazy.
consider that like Edmonton and Vegas have 77 and 76 points, and the
Yeah.
only reason they're in the playoffs is because the Pacific is so bad. Whereas if you
I
did
was
the
yeah.
top 16, they would be out and you would be giving like Washington a spot.
I was gonna say the other night, I forget what day specifically it was, but um all like all 6 of the Pacific teams were playing and literally every single one of them lost. And I think the Kings were the only team that got a single point out of it. But all of them lost. Like all of them. It's But then I say like this isn't my argument too. Like when we get to the P-Dub too, but we don't need more teams. You have 32, and it basically a three-fourths of one conference are not that good. Why would you add more? Why do we need more?
Well, that's like when the NBA is like, we should get rid of the draft. And I'm like, then what incentive does anyone have to go to the
Yeah,
bad teams ever? Um,
exactly.
but it's one of those things where the resources that each team has are like not exactly
They're
equivalent.
all not the same, yeah.
Like, what do you mean Vancouver doesn't have
They have no practice
a practice
facility,
facility?
which is so funny. They've been a team for 50 years and they've never had one.
But like, so this is I say this
They
about
have money
the
to build
PW,
one, but they don't build one.
but I say this about the PW too, is why don't we get all of the teams on an equal and stable playing field,
Hmm.
and then we look at excuse me, expansion. The only team that I'm chill with right now being added, even
In
though
the
we would,
NHL,
yeah, even though we would have to add
another
mathematically,
one,
we'd have to add two,
two.
right?
Yeah, you can't add. Well, I mean, I guess you could, but like, be uneven. There
But I'm
has been
saying like
uneven numbers.
we'd have to add two.
Yeah.
I was debating if we had to add four or not, or if we could just do two.
No, I mean, because when Vegas became a team, wasn't that 31? Or am I making that up?
I guess so. No, because Vegas and Seattle were technically different seasons.
Yeah, so like the year Vegas, hold on. Oh my God, that's crazy. Yeah, so the year Vegas joined, there was 31, and then we had to wait a couple years for Seattle, and then it was 32. So it has been uneven.
But I
I
feel like
hate
if they
that
were
it's
gonna
even,
do
but
it, they
yeah,
would
they should add two at the
try.
same time to keep it even, yeah.
So, but that's what I was saying is would they add four to keep the divisions even?
Oh, smart.
Um,
Yeah, I don't know. Good question.
but so again, the only team that I'm like chill with being added is if Arizona gets a team
I was gonna
back.
say the Coyotes. If the
And
Coyotes
like
come back, I'm good. They
and
they
like
deserve them.
very, very, very small is like if Hartford came back, but Hartford doesn't currently have rights to a team, whereas like
Yeah, Arizona does.
Arizona
That's the
has
difference of
like their franchise is just currently like dormant.
yeah.
Their franchise could be brought back up, which is also why like the stats are so specific. Like when we talk about like the Utah Mammoth, like
That's my
it,
the bane of my
yeah.
existence is doing that stuff.
But it's
The amount of
people
people that are
get
like, oh,
so mad.
no, but like the amount of people that have said to me, even at work, like people who aren't familiar with it, where they like, so the way I describe it is when you say, I'm going to use the Avs because they only have like one former edition. There are teams that have been like Devils had three. They're like the third iteration of their team, but like if the team relocates, you are the same team. You just get a new name and you're in a new city, whatever.
Yeah.
When I build something at work, it's franchise history because that includes your previous like team. Like for the Avs, it'd be the Nordiques. When you say team history, it's just like you as an addition where you are currently. And so the like someone the other day asked for like a stat and they're like Coyotes and Mammoth and I'm like, no, they're separate. They're not this like the Mammoths are literally 2 years old
Like,
and they have no other
yes.
history. They're the same players because like they basically the Coyotes basically sold like we're like you get the rights, here's the roster, that's what you get.
Yeah.
But the team did not actually move,
So it's
which
the
is why
same
I think it's
thing
confusing.
is also if like Utah would not be able to do a throwback jersey in the
Yeah,
same way
because it's not
because
the same team.
it's not the same team
No. Like the Canes can do the Whalers because again the Whalers were the Whalers and then they moved to
to
Carolina, became the
Carolina.
Canes. So
Yeah.
like that's part of their history. The Mammoth is literally just the Mammoth.
Yeah.
Even though again
Their
you're like gonna
throwback would
associate them with the
be
Coyotes, they're not the same.
their throwback would be Utah Hockey Club.
Yes. Yeah.
Um,
Basically, your one season throwback.
but so like that's my only thing is like if Arizona could come back,
Yeah, I
I'd be
agree with
chill with
that.
that. But like no, I think that there's so much that needs to get fixed in the current NHL, but also it sounds like there are GMs as well who want the 116 format back, and
Oh, so many of them.
I'm sure that it's specifically the GMs of like the Flyers and the Capitals who are like, we're getting screwed out of a playoff spot. Meanwhile, we have 10
I
more
know.
points than the second and third team in the
Yeah,
West.
I know specifically. he's
In the
not a friend
Pacific, not the
anymore,
West. Sorry.
obviously, but um sorry, that was like a horn. I don't know what's going on. It always comes up and it's come up a bunch of times with the Central obviously again because if you win that division, you get like the what is it, second wild card?
Yeah.
Second wild card. But if you're second and third and you're like literally the second and third best teams in the league, one of those teams is eliminated in the first round.
Yeah.
And the commissioner thinks you want a better first round matchup opposed to a better Stanley Cup final matchup, which I don't think that is
Also,
relevant because I'd rather watch a better later round than like the first round is like okay, you made it in. You have to like there are some teams that make the first round that like the last no offense to the Capitals, I'm so sorry. Like they made the playoffs last year, but they were swept. Like the first round is just to, like weed out who doesn't really belong there.
yeah.
I to me it doesn't matter if I have a good first round matchup. I'd rather have a good Western Conference matchup or a
No,
good
and you don't
Cup
you
final matchup.
we've also discussed this like the West when you are in the Central is a gauntlet
Mhm.
because you have to do that first round, which is either really easy if you're a wild card, if you're number one, or if you're
Yeah.
2 and 3, it sucks. So if
Yeah.
you're talking specifically about like, the Stars this year,
Yeah.
like
Yes.
they have a shit show of a first round, then they're gonna go face Colorado in the second round,
I think so.
and that's
Yeah, and then
horrendous.
they'd have to go. Yeah.
And then they get what? Like the fucking let's say they go through. Let's say they beat Colorado. They get
They'd have to
what?
get whoever from the
Who
Pacific.
in the Pacific? So which is I guess nice for them this year, but like
That
last
part.
year it was terrible where it
No,
was
but
like you
yeah.
have the
I also think the
worst
point is
stretch.
that, like, when you look at the league standings, you shouldn't be losing like two of the four best teams. Like one through four, you should have at least like three of those teams continue through the first round.
Yeah,
When like
the only
it's
way I can
interesting.
see this system continuing to work where we start off with this divisional one like
The
whatever
one- yeah, the top three in the wild card.
is if we reseed in the second round.
Ooh, wait. I kind of like that.
Because if you are so adamant that you will not do the 1 through 16,
Yeah. So, but honestly though, if you win, if you get through the first round, the reseeding is kind of like doing the one like the. I kind of
yes.
like that. That's a concept. Although
That
it's
is
still like it sucks you have to play the first round, but like then there's more incentive to
but that
win, I
is
guess, because you don't know who your opponent might be.
that is just like the
Ooh.
only way that I can see it working.
Yeah.
However, I also firmly believe that the one okay, this was an issue with the World Series 2 seasons ago where we were this close to a Subway Series World Series.
Oh, I remember this. Yes.
And I understand the argument that people outside of like the New York tri-state metro area would not give a singular shit. One, I argue that people would because seeing that kind of rivalry play out is entertaining, even if you're not part of the rivalry. And
Yeah.
we can even bring in like heated rivalry in here too. Like, I'm sure people in that universe loved watching Ilya and Shane play and would
Mm-hmm.
turn on Boston Montreal even if they weren't fans of either team because
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who do that. I know people who never watch the Rangers and Devils but will turn on that game
Well, I was gonna say too
because
because
it's fun.
it's
Toronto
even
Boston, it's
yeah
fun.
worse too because like I think in my head I always categorize like okay this is a rivalry in like the regular season and then there's like a playoff rivalry because
Yeah,
sometimes you get teams that match up in the playoffs more often than they match up in the regular season and it becomes a whole thing. But you almost never see the same you never get the your traditional regular season matchups in the playoffs, which I think would first off, the amount of numbers that would bring
but
if
tell
like
me a Colorado Dallas final wouldn't be one some of the best hockey you've ever seen
yeah.
in your entire life. And two, that it wouldn't be entertaining as shit.
Yeah.
Y'all ate it the fuck up when we did Four Nations. US Canada
True.
is a played out
True.
rivalry. We know that that's going to be heated. We
Mhm.
know that that's going to be fun to watch, which is
And
why we make it TV.
honestly, like my biggest not that there's never been like an underdog who's won the cup because there has been, But
Yeah.
I would much rather watch the two best teams in the league. Like that's how in my head it's like I know that's always not how it's gonna happen. But like watching the two best teams that season actually play for the cup is like,
I would
you
rather
know,
the two best teams actually have a shot to face off
yeah,
for the cup. And
yeah.
like if someone upsets them, awesome. I cannot wait to root for that
But
team
at
and see
least the
how well they
option
do.
was like there. Yeah,
It is so insanely frustrating to like when you look at like so Selection Sunday happens in 6 minutes for the men's NCAA, and
yeah,
in an hour we have Wisconsin, Ohio for the fourth year in a row,
yep,
who have won the last six NCAA women's Frozen Fours. Like that shit's fun.
yeah,
Getting to watch those
yeah,
two teams play off against each other in a winner takes all final. Like I can't even imagine how fucking electric a building would be
yeah,
if you had game 7 Colorado Dallas for the cup.
yeah. I know. I also feel like people would hear this and they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, so you want the same matchup every year?"
No.
No. Also, like we just went through two of the same,
Yeah.
and I don't need to see that again. I don't need to experience it again.
We've
I
also
would
had
experience it with different teams. That's
but we've
fine.
also had it with like it's been Florida, 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 Florida,
Yes.
Florida, Florida.
Say Florida's been in the last six Stanley Cup finals.
Yeah.
Please remove your. I love them. I'm so sorry. I have friends in Florida, but let somebody else have a turn. I'm over it. Like,
I
yeah,
just
it's just
it's
one of those, like, thinking about the potential of what we could get and what we're getting, like, robbed of. It's so depressing thinking about that and then being like, okay,
and I would love
You're gonna have a Dallas, Minnesota first round matchup, and one of those teams is not gonna move forward
also because
to
people
play for the
aren't
cup.
watching the first round as much as
No,
they're watching the final.
that's what
And
I'm saying.
I also but here okay, so here's
That's
my
what
argument.
I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
This is what I don't understand.
I
Ready?
love how heated we're getting.
No, because I don't understand it
Questions it.
because
No, I don't think anybody does.
the argument is that you lose TV ratings if you end up with a very local like if you have like a Central on Central,
Yeah.
a Pacific on Pacific, Metro on Metro, whatever. Like
Or like not. I think in hockey the argument's always like if it's not like an original six team or like like a very winning like a franchise like a I don't want to say popular team, but
no,
like
because that's such bullshit because the last
I
six
know it
haven't
is.
been
I know it is. That's what I'm saying. I feel like that's what they hold like if it's like, oh, if you're not like Boston, no one's gonna watch you, blah blah blah. But you know what I mean? Which
but
is
so this
stupid,
is
but
the argument is that you're not gonna watch it if it's not by Coastal. I hate the Panthers and I couldn't give less of a shit about the Oilers. I've watched the last two every
yeah,
single game. Yes, is it my job? Yes. But like I'm always like that. I always watch the
yeah,
playoffs no matter what, and I feel like a lot of people everyone watches the Super Bowl no matter who's playing.
yep, yep,
Why wouldn't you when people are put because again, hockey is the smallest of the major four sports in the US. Why wouldn't you want to put your best product forward for when people are actually going to have eyes on you?
yeah. You're right. This is making me look about like because you said bi-coastal. I literally the last one that was like relatively on the same. I'm not counting Tampa, Montreal because they weren't really like traveling for that one because it was like
Yeah.
the second COVID season. The last one that was like relatively on the same coast, which wasn't even really, was Pittsburgh, Nashville.
Yeah.
That's the closest that there's been. That was 10 years ago. That was 10 years ago. Everything else, and even like when I'm scrolling through all the ones before that are still like East Coast, West Coast, which like I guess I get, but also like I don't care.
I also don't think you'd have
Don't
a
care.
single like not that either of these teams are in a position to win anytime soon. So actually, I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to give one
I'm gonna
team that
say
has
Sharks.
somewhat of a chance. No. If you put Boston and Montreal in a final,
That'd be insane.
you would have no problem selling out both buildings every single night because you could
Also,
have a watch party in each.
yeah.
You
Also, the
could sell out the
viewership,
building
like
and you'd have a
across
party
both,
outside.
yeah, the viewership on TV, like of everybody in both, like,
Yeah.
because I also feel like there's an argument to be made that, and I don't, I mean, again, if you're Canadian, please chime in because I wouldn't know, but there's only 7 Canadian teams, and a lot of people have said that like if there's not a, like they're very specific. I think we said this about like the team that you root for, and if you root for another Canadian team because you want Canada to win a cup overall, but like if it's two American based teams, I think you kind of lose. Like, why is anybody from Canada gonna watch? Unless you have like a player that you're like,
Yeah, but it's
you love hockey, which also maybe, but I also
but
feel like the
that's
argument there too is like we have to put a Canadian team in the that viewership is not going to be there. But I also think that's not true. But you know, I don't know.
if we went with the league. I'm sorry, when the fuck did Buffalo become fourth in the league?
That's why I said the other night they're literally in the President's Trophy race. That's
What the fuck?
insane, insane.
Um, if you go 1 through 16, you have two Canadian teams.
Hold on, Montreal.
No, I'm looking at it right now. It's
I know,
Montreal
but
and
I'm trying to
Ottawa.
guess because I'm not. I was gonna say okay.
Sorry, I didn't realize you were guessing.
No, I was like, it has to be.
If
Oh,
you
because
do
Ottawa has
it,
to be like just on the edge though.
yeah, Ottawa's out of
Okay,
the playoffs technically right now.
technically that's what I thought.
If you do it with the way that we have it now, it's Montreal
That's it.
and
Oh,
Edmonton.
Edmonton.
So it's still two Canadian teams.
Yes,
I think the playoff format needs to be changed.
I agree.
And if it's not changed
I agree.
completely, then somehow reseed it because,
Yeah. We were
like,
talking the other day at work about someone brought up the whole how in the P-Dubs they get to the top seeded team gets to pick their opponent,
hmm
and they're like, what if the NHL did that? I was like, it'd be sick, but the NHL doesn't like to have fun, so they would never do that. But it would be a nice way to mix up like I don't even know how you would format if you do it like division wise or if you do it I don't know how you would format that because
that you'd have to have it 116.
yeah. Oh yeah, true, I guess because then there's no other way.
The only reason I
But
understand not doing the 116 from like a logistical standpoint is the amount of
let me say travel.
travel that you might
Yeah.
have to have between
But like
first rounds, but also
you
like
do
y'all
it
can
for all
afford
the
it.
other rounds.
Exactly.
Like
Also, you do it for every
run
other
for
game,
yeah,
every other
you play a whole season and you travel everywhere. Like what is the difference? What is the difference?
like I don't know. I think it would be
I just
fine.
have so many questions. Like, yeah,
Um, speaking of goal scorers though, Cole
yeah,
Caulfield hit 40.
he did. Is that like what 43 now?
He's at 43. He had a hat
43
trick last night. Very
today.
unfortunate for me, but he had a hat trick
His
last
first
night.
ever 40 goal season.
He is, and like first season for 40 goals for a Habs player in a while.
He's also, it'll be in Sunday Stats when I get there. He is the first American-born player to ever score 40 goals in a season for the Habs. That franchise is over 100 years old. I think that's crazy.
He's also the highest
But
scoring US national development team player,
yes,
surpassing Jack Hughes now. So good for him.
maybe Team USA should have taken a note before they picked their roster, but like,
I
do
still,
I know?
well, that was also so, Robo laid out a huge fucking hit on Quinn.
Wait, wait, pause. Did you see the one of Cole Hudson the other night?
Yeah.
I was like,
Okay,
I
so
I had to
no
laugh so hard.
offense.
I was like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Go Cole Hudson. I love that. Like, it's so good.
No, so well, welcome to the league, by the way, Cole Hudson. Now we
Yeah.
have
Congrats.
he is the third Hudson brother to make his NHL debut.
There's still one more. Don't worry.
Yeah. Quinn doesn't Quinn is in the AHL most of the time, but he
Yeah.
has
He's
played in
played
the NHL.
NHL games, but not consistently. Yeah.
Hopefully he gets pulled up at some point soon and gets to play all the time, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, Cole is brand new to the league and decided to toss Jack Hughes to the ground and also himself got tossed to the ground
Yeah.
by
Well,
his own momentum.
listen, that's all that counts. It was
But
successful.
that just like kept bothering
Yeah.
Jack and Jack was not having it, but it was like really funny because Jack wasn't really Jack looked like
No.
an annoyed cat who was like
Yeah. And like Cole was just like, eh. I'm
He's like,
just
this
gonna
is my
keep doing
job.
it. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, good on him. But no, so the thing with the Robo hit is that people like Quinn Hughes fans got real racist real fast. And I was
First
like,
off, why does that man still have fans? Have we not learned anything? Unfortunately.
listen, I
But
we've discussed this.
I
If you
know.
play the purity test for every single
I know,
person from
I know, I
every
know, I
league,
know, I know, I know.
like
True. I
I
didn't
know
see
how
any of
we
that.
feel, but
I saw the hit. I didn't see any of the like I've cleared my Twitter of people who would have
I
done
didn't
that,
see it.
hopefully.
I saw the posts complaining about it and then
Oh,
went
see,
down a rabbit hole.
I just saw the initial like the actual clip of the play and then I was like, cool. And I kept moving.
I saw the play and then I saw a post saying that people were being racist towards Jason Robertson
I
about the
can't.
hit.
I
And
can't.
then I went down the rabbit hole and
Okay,
found
that
what
makes
was being
sense.
said. So, but like again, Team USA, where was Jason Robertson? Where
Yeah.
was Cole Caulfield? Why were they not
Yeah.
on the team? Um, yeah.
True.
Who knows? Um, how angry do I want to
Silence.
get?
I don't know.
Okay. Generally speaking, how many suspensions do you think should equate to a longer suspension, a firing, a something? And I'm specifically talking about the PWHL.
Oh. I would say the NHL clearly has no they don't care,
No.
unfortunately. Um I think this correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't what is the max suspension we've seen in the PW? 5 games? Taylor Gerard got 5 and she didn't even serve 5. And I think that was supposed to be the longest one ever
Well,
because
it
it
was the
got
longest one
appealed.
ever because of the break.
No. Like I thought no player had gotten 5 games, and then
Oh,
they
that also
appealed
might
it.
be true, but
They appealed it, and she only served 3. Um, I think they should start handing out more serious suspension. I know the season is shorter, and there is a discussion which I have read that they are suspending players without pay, and they don't get paid a lot. So that is a whole other issue specific to that league that has to get figured out. But in terms of them like actually like giving the correct disciplinary action for repeat offenders, I think they have to be a little much better with it.
so I'm saying this.
So
I am taking all personal feelings about this player out of it.
yeah,
And I am speaking
objectively.
from a very objective and logistical standpoint, and I can do that because that's what I went to school for.
Hmm.
Britta Curl has been suspended 4 times,
I think that's what we're up to now, yeah. For
and the
like a
league
game or
is
two.
3 years old.
And most of them have been like suspensions from like injuries on other players.
Yeah.
Like the player that she hit or did whatever was like injured on the play because of whatever she did.
At what point
So,
do we take a serious look at how certain players are playing? And also, at what point is there like a cap? Like, if you get
like you
suspended
yeah.
3 times in a season, you forfeit XYZ.
Mm.
Again, I don't know what the answer is.
No, but it's
I'm just
interesting
genuinely
because
asking because you
you can't
cannot have someone who
no.
is intending to injure other players. And it's the same thing with Radko Gudas and what
I was gonna
happened
say,
there.
like, at
Like,
some point, you sustainable isn't the right word, but like, you can't keep allowing them to do what they're doing because it's gonna become at the expense of other players
yeah.
who I don't know how to say this nicely.
So don't say
The
it nicely.
the other players that she's targeting are probably players that people are actually going to the games to see play,
Hmm.
and at some point, I think you have to like in a new league where the revenue is probably like, your main focus, you want people in those seats. The safety of those like the number one, we've always said this, the safety of the player should always be your number one priority, no matter what. Um, but also like at what point does it start harming you as a league? Because now you have this reputation that you're letting a certain player who's continuously injuring others get away with it. And I know people who aren't even like serious P-Dub fans and they're aware of like her track record,
And
which is not
again,
good.
I I don't want to come across as if I'm defending her and
Mm,
her personal actions
yeah.
outside of the league.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I do think that as hockey fans, as any kind of fan of any person, when it comes to things like this, you do need to separate the person and the player.
Yeah.
Because I love Poulin.
I was
I
gonna say
love
Pooh does the
Poulin.
same things.
But she hasn't been
Not as
suspended
bad.
as much.
No, but she's in the middle of a lot of
But she
things. A
definitely
lot.
has a track record.
Yeah.
And I think that we see a lot more hate towards Curl because of the stance that she has
Yeah.
outside of hockey.
I also think
But that does not give
no, but
the
also
quote
like
unquote good people an
yes.
excuse to do the same behavior. It needs to be equal because the
Yeah.
league should not be looking at players' political affiliations and then determining how to
I also think though,
I just don't want the two to be conflated when I talk
yeah,
about
I
it, just
also
in
think though
case.
too when you watch obviously Poulin is one of like probably the greatest women's hockey player
Yes.
ever.
Yes.
Um her level of play like that is maybe that stuff is part of her play. It is not the entirety
No.
of her play. And I think that's another thing where like you have to look at you're looking at the player as a player, but like the style of hockey they're playing like should help
And there's totally a
determine
place
that.
for enforcers,
There
even in the
is,
P-dub, but
but not
again,
like that. You know.
enforcing something versus intending to injure are just very different things.
Yes.
And I feel like we're
And
letting a
those
lot
things
of,
cannot go, those are not
you know,
like interchangeable things.
and
But a
maybe it
good
would be
point.
different if we let the girls fight.
True. I'm here for
Like
it.
maybe they could take out their aggression in
Let
that
them,
way.
yeah,
I don't
let
know.
them throw some punches. Let them go.
But it's just, it's really hard to look at this league that is quote unquote supposed to be better and
It's,
seeing
yeah.
that level of like, it's concerning. It's very concerning to be like, hey, are we just gonna like let everyone die real quick? Like, what's going on
Yeah.
here?
And again, like you only have so many players readily available. There's no like farm
Yeah.
system in the P-Dub like there is in the NHL. Like you can't just like call up a player and be like, okay, your roster spot is filled because whatever. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it is still an issue over there too. So they should hopefully they figure that out. But yeah,
Yeah. So I don't know. I just again, I don't have any like I feel like when it comes to a lot of like rules I have an issue with, I typically have some kind of like
thought process on
thought
it.
process
Yeah,
because telling someone like three strikes and you're out for the season feels excessive,
but if
but at the
that's the only
same
way you're gonna
time,
get the message across, then like that's
yeah.
gonna like if that is what's gonna work, then that's gonna work, and you're gonna have to do what you have to do to set that precedence. And like if that's the way you start it, and then you remove it later or whatever it is to change it, like I also think in
I also feel like a
like
10
rules
game
can change.
suspension, maybe like a 15 game suspension so you sit
It's
for
like
half
half
the
the season.
season.
Yeah.
Or like, and
I
also like
just
a
again, I think
suspension that can carry over through the
yeah,
playoffs and or through next season.
true. I just think again the issue I think with that is the money. Like if you're because again, if you're suspending a player, they like they don't get paid during that time, and like because they get paid so little, I think that's probably that might be what's stopping them from handing out
But
bigger ones. But that's like then I don't know.
but again, like you can, but like that's a
There's ways.
consequence.
Yes, I agree.
It's and again, it's not the same thing of like that's okay. you don't deserve to lose your job because of it, but at the same
Yeah.
time, at a
There has
certain
to be
point,
some
when
kind
do
of
you
consequence.
deserve to lose your job
Yeah.
because of it?
Yeah.
Or like, okay, like
Good point.
maybe like you're not eligible for a pay raise the next time your contract is expired. Like you have to stay at the same level.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Like some
truly
kind of thing
do
that's,
not know, but it needs to get addressed because you cannot have
yeah.
one player being like a menace to the entire league for the rest of their career.
Yep.
I don't know.
Agreed.
That's all I got though.
Yeah, I think that's all it's, I can't think of anything else that we haven't like talked about.
Yeah. Playoffs are like really fucking soon.
Yeah, it's scaring me.
And we only have one team clinched, so
Scaring me. Yeah, but it's same as last year. That's how it was last year too.
yeah, I'm just saying.
But
We have the Avs. Yay.
yeah, actually, was there any today? I don't think there's any today.
I don't think so.
Uh,
Doesn't really matter. This is not going up today,
no.
but all right.
Well, as of right now, yeah, there's only one.
All right. We
Oh, the
will.
Stars.
Oh, they can.
Yeah, they have to get at least a point against the Golden Knights, or the Mammoths have to defeat the Kings in any fashion. So by the time you're listening to
Cute.
this, you might have two teams, which are just the top two
Hopefully
teams.
you have two teams.
Yeah, hopefully. But
Oh, I'm not mentally prepared for the Islanders Columbus game tonight.
I am the Eastern wild card is like
Well,
the
because the
whole
Islanders are
East is
back
just
out of a playoff
insanely, yeah,
spot.
because it's so tight. I'm not enjoying that part.
Yeah. But all right, that's what we got.
Yeah. Thanks for
See
listening.
you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.